Hi again, COM 1160 video number 5 for week number 8. I hope you took a few minutes to take a bit of a break and review some of those really funny errors that are out there. We're now going to work through some exercises on the comma, the apostrophe, and homophones in order to prepare for our assignment for this particular week. So I'm going to get you to take a look at these first exercises that deal with the comma. And I'm going to ask you just on a scrap piece of paper or on your screen to add in the commas where they're required. I'm going to read these sentences, but try not to be influenced by any place that I might pause. Remember your comma rules and think about where to put in the commas. Your first sentence is, I went to campus and visited the Allied Health Building, the gym, the bookstore, and the cafeteria. Your second sentence is, even though I was tired, I stayed up all night studying for the midterm. And your third sentence is, Laura, a nursing student at Niagara College, works in the pediatric unit. Pause the video now, try to insert the commas, and when you start the video again, we'll take a look at the solutions. Okay, ready for the solutions? Let's take a look at the sentences. I'm going to try to use my pen here on the screen and insert the commas where they belong. For our first example, we have a list. So we need to separate out the items in the list by using commas. So we have the Allied Health Building. We'd put a comma in here. The gym, the bookstore, and the cafeteria. So it would be the Allied Health Building, comma, the gym, comma, the bookstore, comma, although this comma is optional, and the cafeteria. For sentence number 2, we have an introductory element to the main sentence. So my main sentence is, I stayed up all night studying for the midterm, but my condition is, even though I was tired. So I'm going to put my comma after tired. My third example, is Laura, a nursing student at Niagara College, works in the pediatric unit. In this case, I have interrupting information. My main sentence is Laura works in the pediatric unit, but my extra information or my gossip about her is that she's a nursing student at Niagara College. This interrupts the sentence, so I'm going to put that information in commas. This next set of exercises asks you to consider where apostrophes should go. Let's take a look at these 5 sentences. I think that Canada's COVID prevention plan is working. The folder should contain the patient's file and x-rays. The machine's performance is not optimal. Its document feeder always malfunctions. It's time to review the client's care plan. And the children's ward is for those patients under 12. Pause the video now and take a few minutes to work through where the apostrophes should be, and then we'll come back and work through the solutions together. Okay, are you ready for the solutions? Let's take a look at the first one. I think that Canada's COVID prevention plan is working. In this particular case, we're talking about the COVID prevention plan that belongs to Canada. So we're going to put the apostrophe right here in between the A and the S to indicate that it's the COVID prevention plan belonging to Canada. The folder should contain the patient's file and x-rays. In this particular case, we're going to put the apostrophe right here because we mean the file and the x-rays belonging to the patient. Number 3 is a bit tricky. The machine's performance is not optimal. Its document feeder always malfunctions. Let's take a look at the first sentence, the machine's performance. We're going to need to put the apostrophe, in between the E and the S to indicate the performance belonging to the machine. For its, we're going to leave it alone because we mean the document feeder belonging to it. Let's take a look at the fourth one. It's time to review the client's care plan. In this particular case, we're going to need to put an apostrophe in between the T and the S. I'm messing up with my screens here. In between the T and the S, because we mean it is. So it is time to review the client's care plan. We're also going to need another apostrophe here because we're showing ownership, the care plan belonging to the client. Our last sentence for the apostrophe, the children's ward, is for those patients under 12. I'm going to put my apostrophe in between the N and the S because it is the ward belonging to the children. Patients, I'm not going to touch because this is a plural and we mean more than one. Okay, now it's time to look at some homophones exercises. We have some sentences that I'm going to ask you to identify which correct spelling should be used. The medication side effects are difficult for patients to deal with, and I was affected by the client's story. Our next set of sentences, Niagara College students are more attractive than Mohawk College students, and I went to the store and then to work. Finally, two other sentences. You should mind your business, and you're happy that it's Friday, right? Again, pause the video, take a few minutes to work through these exercises, and then we'll look at the solutions. Ready for the solutions? Let's take a look at the first set where we're looking at effects. The medication side effects are difficult for patients to deal with. In this case, we want effects starting with an E. I was affected by the client's story. We mean influenced by, so we're going to use affected with an A. Niagara College students are more attractive than Mohawk College students. We're comparing Niagara College students to Mohawk College students, so we're going to use THAN. I went to the store and then to work. We're going to use THEN in this particular case because we're talking about a moment in time. You should mind your business. In this case, we're going to use YOUR because we mean the business belonging to you. You're happy that it's Friday, right? We're using a contraction here. You are. So we're going to use YOU apostrophe RE. I hope you've had a bit of fun working through these exercises. They're going to come in handy when you're working through the assignment. In our next video, I'm going to go over the instructions for the assignment.